Kaiju number 8 is easily one of the most entertaining animes of 2024, as it has one of the more unique protagonists in anime with a very wholesome message surrounding him at the heart of its story. Now, before I even touch upon that, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, the main reason why most people are gonna watch Kaiju 8 off rip. The fights. They're pretty badass. I mean, I don't even know what to say, just look at this! I mean, the choreography, it's slick, it's fast, it's sharp, the animation is smooth, there's not really much negative things I could say about it. Every fight scene is really enjoyable to watch, and it serves its purpose within the story. I really like how they explore the characters' motivations during the fight scene. It really ties well with the quick pacing. And speaking of the pacing, there's legitimately not a boring episode, or even a slow episode. Everything just goes to shit in every single episode for the most part, which can be a little bit of a double-edged sword, but I'll talk more about that later in this video. But for the most part, the quick pacing is actually a benefit to the anime, as they do a really good job of utilizing things like visual storytelling to build their world without even saying a word. For example, what happens to the kaiju after it's defeated? Well, the main protagonist in the very first episode works in a cleanup duty job to get rid of all the body parts of the kaiju in the middle of the city. It's a really great way to utilize visual storytelling, like I said, to build on your world, which allows the writers to utilize their time effectively to create a much more immersive setting for the viewer. All without things like exposition dumps, which tends to bore people and only manages to slow down the show. And speaking of the main protagonist, the biggest reason why I really enjoy this anime is because of him. I love how he's not just this young kid, he's a 30-year-old man with most of his best days behind him. Yet he's still chasing his dreams that he knows in his heart that he can achieve. Which is a really heartwarming message that all your goals and dreams are never behind you. If you're willing to chase it, if you're willing to have the motivation and drive to go after it, you can achieve anything. So when you see not only the main character, but all the characters fight desperately to achieve whatever their motivations are, it adds a lot more tension to the battle itself. Like, I can't even express how I felt when I was watching the vice captain getting beaten down and thrown around, and he kept getting back up and kept fighting, even though his whole life he was told that he can't beat the bigger kaiju because of his fighting style with the swords. Yet even with all that against him, he kept getting up and rising to the occasion, just like our main character. With all the things against him with his age, he keeps getting up and rising with the occasion. So the message stretches more than just the main character, it stretches to a lot of the characters. So as you can see, this is definitely my favorite part of the show, and it allows me to give Kaiju 8 a lot more leeway when it comes to some other things that I would definitely be harsher with criticism on. For example, Kaiju 8 has a lot of generic tropes. The MC getting a powerful ability from the bad guys he's supposed to be fighting, then joins a group that he's not really a part of because he has that power, which might lead to conflict down the line and some alienation on the protagonist's part. Plus, he has to watch out for the negative effects or drawbacks to his ability that might endanger his friends. You get the point. This draws tropes from a ton of shows. I mean, I could give you a list. Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man, JJK, Naruto, and I get it. In of itself, some of these shows draw tropes from other shows. Art is a derivative of itself, so I get it. Which is why I'm not as harsh on Kaiju number 8, because it isn't about what they utilize, it's how they execute upon it. And if you can execute really well on a trope, then it's not really as much of a trope, and that's what I see in this anime. It has enough differences to really set itself apart from other shows that might use the same cliche story devices. Now, since I'm talking about criticisms, let me double back to a previous criticism I had in the beginning of this video, and that was the pacing. Because on the one hand, it's really fast, so it leads to entertaining episode after entertaining episode after entertaining episode. It really packs each of the episodes with a ton of fights. But on the other hand, I sometimes really wish they utilized more of the slower scenes to build the characters up. Because besides a very few amount in the beginning of the show, it's really towards the latter half of Kaiju number 8 where we really get to expand upon some of the side characters that I really wanted to see. And again, this is a very slight criticism, so don't tear me a new asshole for it, but I don't know, I just really wanted to see more of the characters and wanted more of a connection to the characters early on. Because we have enough of a connection to have some stakes within the fights. Like, I don't want to see them die, basically, but I don't know enough about them to really love them. But again, it's still really early on, and they also expanded upon a lot of the side characters towards the end, so I'm really expecting season 2 to push more of the character development that I was dying to see, basically. But honestly, that's about it. I mean, there's not much more to say. The show is just a fun watch. It's basically one of those shows that you can watch a whole season in one day because each episode is packed full of so much that it makes you want to watch the next episode. But yeah, thanks for watching. Comment below how you felt about the show and what I should do next. Again, thank you so much for watching.